The sport of boxing has a rich history that has produced some superstar names and incredible athletes over the years. It is almost impossible to rank these fighters in terms of skill, with your favorite ultimately dependent on the era you grew up in. 1. Joe Louis. Record: 66-3, 52 KOs. Topping the list is none other than Joe Louis, the man who boasts the record for being the longest reigning world heavyweight champion of all time, holding the title for 11 years, 8 months, and 8 days. Compact and fiercely strong, his power remains the stuff of legend, and his dominance has rarely come close to being matched since. The Brown Bomber is also remembered for his civil rights activism outside the ring, where he fought for the rights of African Americans and became hugely influential in the progression of equality in the world of sport, paving the way for future generations of black fighters. 2. Archie Moore. Record: 186-23-10, 132 KOs. Moore just misses out on being named the most powerful fighter in boxing history, but nobody can touch him in terms of total knockouts. With a staggering 132 stoppages across a career that spanned close to 3 decades, his legacy will forever be secure. After waiting 18 years to win his first world title, having been denied an opportunity due to politics, Moore was in no mood to let go of the gold once he won it. He still ranks as the longest reigning light heavyweight champion ever, having held the title from 1952 until 1962. He capped off his legendary career by facing Muhammad Ali in one of his final fights. 3. Sandy Saddler. Record: 145-162, 104 KOs. Never afraid to take a punch while in search of a knockout, Saddler made his name by overwhelming his opponents as he bounced them from one side of the ring to the other. While picking up more than 100 stoppage victories, he won World Championship gold on 3 occasions. Saddler especially dominated the featherweight division throughout the 1940s and 1950s, and sits in 10th place in the list of most KOs of all time. Despite his reckless style, he was stopped only once himself in his 12 years as a professional, and that defeat came in his second career fight. 4. Jack Dempsey. Record: the 8th of June 53, 43 KOs. Even by the standards of the 1910s and 1920s, Dempsey was an undersized heavyweight, standing just over 6 feet tall. However, he didn't let that disadvantage stop his progress and went on to make a career out of defeating men who enjoyed greater size and reach. He almost always stopped them before the final bell, too, recording knockouts in all but 10 of his wins. His aggressive style and fearsome power made him a hit at the box office. The Manassa Mauler held the world heavyweight title from 1919 to 1926. During that spell, he made history as the first ever fighter to generate a $5 million gate. 5. George Foreman. Record: 76-5, 68 KOs. Mike Tyson himself has freely admitted that Big George possessed power that he could not match. Foreman was a monster of a man, who won by stoppage in all but 8 of his 76 victories. While he fought the likes of Ali and Joe Frazier in his prime, Foreman punched his way into the record books in 1994 when he knocked out Michael Moorer to become the oldest world heavyweight champion of all time at 46 years, 5 months, and 18 days. It would be the final knockout win of his career, although Foreman did go on to claim 3 more victories after his famous triumph. The final fight of his career came just months before his 49th birthday. 6. Ernie Shavers. Record: of the most feared men in the sport for more than 25 years, and his legacy of destruction lives on to this day. 7. Sugar Ray Robinson. Record: 174-196, 109 KOs. Unanimously considered to be one of the all-time greats of the sport, Sugar Ray packed an unbelievably powerful punch. Competing in divisions from lightweight all the way up to light heavyweight, Robinson went on to achieve over 100 career KOs, picking up 6 world championship belts at welterweight and middleweight during a legendary career. His outrageous professional resume included more than 200 bouts and featured victories over a staggering 21 members of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. With that in mind, it should come as no surprise that he is considered one of the greatest fighters ever to have lived. 8. Julian Jackson. Record: 55-6, 49 KOs. Known for his speedy KOs, Jackson was a true powerhouse. Only 6 of his opponents ever made it the full 12 rounds with Jackson, with well over half of his career wins wrapped up inside 3 rounds. The owner of genuine one-punch knockout power, Jackson would achieve success across multiple weight divisions. He was a 3-time world champion at super welterweight and middleweight, recording a colossal 49 stoppage victories. Jackson's aggressive style left him open to getting caught, and cost him on a number of occasions. The slugger from the U.S. Virgin Islands didn't retire with an unblemished record, but was always tremendously entertaining to watch. 9. Ruben Olivares. Record: 8-9-1-3-3, 79 KOs. A fighter remembered for his crippling liver shots, Mexican bantamweight Olivares stood at just 5 feet, 5 inches tall. However, what he lacked in stature, he made up for in pinpoint accuracy. He regularly left his foes doubled over in pain after taking a flush shot to the midsection. Although he would eventually suffer 13 defeats across his career, Olivares was untouchable early in his professional campaign. Making his debut at 17 years old, he embarked on a run of 22 straight stoppage victories. By the time he retired after his 105th fight in 1988, he was considered by many to be the greatest bantamweight champion ever. 10. Wilfredo Gomez. Record: the 1st of March 44, 42 KOs. Puerto Rican boxer Gomez, also known as Bazooka, will be remembered for having one of the longest KO streaks in boxing history. During a 15-year career, Gomez would go on a streak of 32 consecutive KOs. His power is up there with the very best and is perhaps a name that doesn't get the recognition he truly deserves. Ironically, despite his fabled ability to knock out opponents, he actually began his professional career with a draw. His fearsome power translated to championship success, too, as he won world titles across 3 different weight classes. Gomez raised top honors in a trio of divisions, ranging from super bantamweight to super featherweight. 11. Rocky Marciano. Record: 49-0, 43 KOs. Moving on to a man with one of the most impressive records in boxing that still holds up to this day. Rocky Marciano boasts a 49-0 perfect record, with his unorthodox style taking the boxing world by storm during his period of dominance in the 1950s. Never a pretty fighter to watch, Marciano made up for his technical shortcomings by making the most of the attributes he did possess. A scrapper with a never-say-die attitude, Rocky's raw power saw him win by stoppage in all but half a dozen of his bouts. He became heavyweight champion in 1952 and went on to successfully defend his title 6 times before retiring as an unbeaten professional. 12. Sonny Liston. Record: 50-4, 39 KOs. Starting off with a classic fighter of the early era of modern boxing, mob boss turned boxer Sonny Liston remains one of the most feared men to ever set foot inside the ring. The American stood at just over 6 feet tall, but had an incredible physique, an 84-inch reach and an aura that set him apart from other heavyweight contenders. Fight fans at the time reported seeing Liston's opponents shaking with fear as they prepared to face him. He went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship in possibly his most memorable fight against Floyd Patterson.